next topic is template for each. Okay. So for loop, are you aware of what for loop does?
Yeah, loops I know, but I have idea,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. So loops, yes. If we have collection of items, it will help us in going through each and every element.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'll create a template with this one. So I'm creating a new component. Okay. Okay. So when we started with JavaScript, we discussed about two things: arrays and objects. Okay. So we will rewind a little bit again. So what were arrays? It is a collection of elements. It can be single type or multiple types. Like let's say we have an array named array1. Okay, and it has some elements. Uh, 12, 24, 67, 35. Okay. So what we want is we want to display them on the HTML part. Okay. So this is a basic example. Then we will slowly increase the level. So if we will directly bind this, this is a property. I can directly bind it it's inside the HTML. In HTML, let me create first the lightning card. Which we have practiced. Lightning card. And what attribute do we know about that title?
Title.
So I'll give me topic name template. So if I want to, I can bind any property inside my HTML, okay, using this thing, curly braces. Okay. So if I want to access the value of array1 inside my here, so it will be like this. But let's see how it displays. I'll write it inside my paragraph tag. And let me create a division so that left border is there. So do you remember how did we give division?
Mm-hmm.
LDS classes. Okay, so LDS margin. Then I want to give from left side and of medium size. So we will be doing in every lecture. So what I have done, I have just binded my array is ARR1 was defined in this. So this time it is not a string or integer. We have practiced with names earlier. Right now I have created a new array. Array is what? Collection of a particular type of elements. So we can say that this is a collection of array of integers. Okay. So if I will straightforwardly bind it with the name ARR1, let's see what is the output. Okay. So P is not having a matching tag. That means closing was not done. So the name I have given is template for. Okay. So see, the entire array got printed here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But what if I want it in a tabular format, or let's say one by one in next line, like 12 should be written, then below that 24 should be written, 67 should be written, like that. So in that case, we use our for loop, okay, and there is a particular syntax to use for loop. We'll see. So array is binded, array is defined here, and to write using for loop, we have to introduce template tag again here. So one template tag was the one which we get whenever we create a new component. Okay, this template. But this template tag can be used inside another existing template for two conditions. One we will see today, and one maybe we will see tomorrow. Okay. So first purpose for template within template is to use for loop. So what is the syntax for that? So we have to write the template tag first, and I'm starting, I'll close it. Okay. So here we have to give an attribute called for each. So you can see three attributes, these three attributes. So for each attribute is used. And what parameter we have to pass to it? See, it is saying array. And what was the array name in our case? ARR1. Okay. So I'll pass the ARR1 here. Now, if let's recall our basic for loop, which is there in all the languages. So it is something like this. For, not sure if you have done that. I is equal to 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus. Have you seen this before?
Yeah.
Yeah, in C, C++ or Java,
Yeah,
this is the syntax. I mean, this means that I value is a dummy variable here, correct? So it will start from 0, it will go up to 10, and it will increment by 1 every time. So in this way, we print like 1, 2, 3, 4, correct? So similarly, we have to keep this in mind in this case also. So what dummy variable was there? I, okay. So that dummy variable here is introduced with the help of for item. Here I will create my dummy variable, okay, I, and entire array over which I have to go through. That is this array which I am binding. I'm doing data binding there. How data binding? Because ARR1 is defined in JavaScript, and I'm putting it inside the curly braces. Curly braces means that something is coming from JavaScript. Okay. So entire array I have put here. Let me move this one. And I'll be picking one value at a time from this array 1 inside my dummy variable I. Okay. And I will be printing it here. So how will I print? So I will be picking 12 first, and that means it will be printed here. And again, for printing, I have to use curly braces, and I will be writing a dummy variable here. I, same role it is playing like this. I will be starting with 0. In this case, I will be starting with the first element in this array. So first element was 12. Okay. So 12 will come here in I, and we can utilize it and print it. Similarly, this for loop means that the loop keeps on going on until the element's size is completed. I mean, all the elements are accessed once. So in the second loop, what will it do? It will come back to the array 1 again. Array 1 will be holding next 24. That means I will be holding 24, and we are printing. Similarly, the flow will go on, and it will print up to 65. Okay. So let me try saving it. Let's see. Now it is giving one error. So what is the error? So this is the important thing, I mean, which most of the developers forgot. So in for loop, in template for loop, we have to pass a unique ID to our element, and that is called key. Now key will be holding whatever is unique for that each element. So since this element itself is unique in this case at least, so we will be passing the element itself.
I think that is arrow function, right?
No, arrow function. No, not this is not an arrow function. This is the closing tag of P.
Okay.
Okay. We just have to pass this thing here. Key is a mandatory thing which you have to use. I mean, this is also a common very interview question. What is that unique attribute which you utilize in a template for each loops? So that is key. So before printing it inside paragraph tag, we have to pass it as an attribute. And what should it consist of? The unique value from that element. So now, right now in our scenario, the unique element in this value is the value itself. So we are passing it here. But when we will see an object here, it will have 2, 3 parameters. So we have to identify the unique element. So in this case, 3 things. First of all, we have to start with template for each. These 2 things are called directives, for each and for item. Directives are what? Attributes inside the template. So for each, it will hold the entire array. For item, it will initialize a dummy variable which will pick one element at a time from this array. And here we are finally printing that one first element, second and third, I mean in the flow. But the mandatory thing is that we have to pass a key here. Otherwise, it has given an error. Missing key for element P. So in key, what we have to pass? The unique value from that element. So these 2 things are inside curly braces, but the dummy variable is inside the inverted commas. Okay. So let me save it. See, it is printing one element at a time with the help of template for each loop.